Okay, so welcome guys. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm Gigi, and we are here for the Dream Job Backstage Pass. Oh, yay! So first of all, there is a chat button. I think if you put your little mouse at the bottom, so if you have any questions, there's a little chat button at the bottom. If you just click on that, and if you want to ask any questions, you just click on the little button and chat all you want and ask us questions. If we don't have time to get to all of your questions, you can either private message us later, or we'll answer them in our, probably in our Coach Open House group, or somehow we will get to the questions. So first of all, what we're going to do is, because we all have different stories and different ways that we got into this business, we're going to discuss how we became coaches, and we're all going to kind of go around and tell our different ways that we got into the business and why we became coaches. So I'll start with mine. I'm going to try to make it short because, as you all know, I can go on and on and on and on. So how I got into this business, I had surgery about a year ago, and I apologize for those of you that have heard this story a million times. I had surgery, and after I had the surgery, I felt like nasty. Hi, Katie, welcome. And I had bad digestion problems. I was feeling sluggish. I had no energy. And as a fitness instructor, you got to have some energy, as you guys know. And you're if you're sluggish all the time, it's just even hard to teach a class. So after I had that surgery, someone actually recommended Shakeology to me. And I was like, okay, fine. Now, I've literally taken every protein shake known to mankind. And, I'm fine with it because I've been into fitness my whole life. So fine, I'll take another one. And I would say probably pretty instantly, I had so much energy. And about a month into taking these shakes, my digestion was right back on track. I felt amazing. I started losing weight, and I wasn't doing anything. I couldn't exercise because of the fact that I just had surgery. So I was losing weight. I had all this energy. My digestion system was right back on track, and it was like, a miracle had occurred in the world. And I said, you know what? I've got to get into this business just for the discount, because I just wanted the shakes. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about anything else but the darn shakes. So I got into it for that reason alone. I wanted these shakes. And after I went through the training, because I did go through training just in case, right. I sold my very first challenge pack to a lady who, she wasn't feeling very attractive anymore to her husband, and her husband traveled a lot. She'd gained a lot of weight, blah, 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 blah. And when she bought her first challenge pack from me, which we'll explain that later to you guys, she actually started praying because she knew this was going to change her life. She knew that she was going to get her health back on track. She was going to get her fitness back on track, and all that jazz. And that's kind of when I knew I wasn't just doing this business for a discount anymore. I knew that we could change lives. We can help people every single day with being a coach. And that's when it kind of light bulb moment. I said, I really want to do this business, because that's what it's all about. It's about changing lives and helping people get healthier every single day through fitness and nutrition, and just meeting great new people along the way. So that's my story, and that's how I got into it, and I'm going to shut up now. So I'm now going to hand it over to Holly, and I'll mute myself so I'm not making any noise and you don't hear Sammy. So take it away, Holly.
All right. Thanks, Gigi. And if anybody just joined us, we will have you just look down in the left-hand corner of your screen, and there's a mute button. And if you'll just mute yourself, and that way we don't hear background noise and all that good stuff. So my story is a little different than Gigi's. I, too, am a Zumba instructor, and I was looking for something to help grow our studio, or something to bring more value to our current clients. And I kept following a Zumba instructor on YouTube, and then I followed her on Facebook, and I kept seeing her post about coaching and coach groups and challenge groups, and I finally asked, what is a challenge group? And she got to telling me about Beachbody coaching and what she does. And I said, great, how do I do that? And so I signed up very quickly. I just jumped right in. I didn't do it the right way. I just said, yep, sign me up. I'll be a coach. Really didn't know the depth of what coaching was. And so she introduced me then to the 21-day fix. I had no idea what that was. I had no idea what Shakeology was. And I started doing the program and drinking the shakes. Felt amazing. And then I realized that my bag of Shakeology was disappearing, and I asked my husband and daughter, and they were in my bag of Shakeology, and they were loving it too. So it became a family thing. They all embraced it, and we are all still doing it and feeling wonderful. And then that's when I realized that my next topic we're going to go into in a little while is sharing versus selling, but this is really a business about just telling people about how it makes you feel. And that's what I started to do. And I had friends that wanted to join in and do the programs too. And it's just become a really fun business to work. But my story started with the business opportunity, and then I learned about the products. And I've since lost 24 pounds doing the products, and people recognize that. And it's really exciting and fun. And I'm going to toss it over to Jennifer.
Hi, I am Jennifer Mason, Northwestern Wisconsin, and I was introduced to the business by G, and how I found Beachbody and became a coach is a little bit different than why I became a Beachbody coach. I, like Gigi, had a surgery, and that's been about over a year now, and I just wasn't recovering. And I remember laying on my bed, and a little boy looking at me and said, "Mom, what can I do to help you get up?" And I think that was my light bulb moment, as I needed to figure out what I needed to do, because I wasn't going to stay on FMLA forever. I had a family to raise. And so my husband, kept coming home with these superfoods, and he's like, you need to eat this fish, and I was just, I don't want any more fish. I didn't want any more superfoods. And Gigi was somewhere, and I think she was in Hawaii. I'm not sure. And she had her cup, and I'm like, what is she drinking? And I'm like, we'll just ask her. So I did. And I'm like, whatever, I'm going to drink it. She is healthy. She's fit. She always wants to help people. So it's not a joke. So we tried it. And then, like Holly, the bag started emptying out by other people in the family. I was feeling better. And I'm like, well, I might as well try this workout thing. So I tried that as well. And everything was working. And I had initially signed up as just as a coach for the discount, not to actually coach. And so I thought, well, I might as well start, some of the coaching and learning. And then it naturally came about. And I finally just said, you know what, I think it's time to pay it forward. So this isn't for me so much a business initially, to be profitable and, where I want it to go now, but it was a business to pay it forward and help other people that needed it. And my mom has Crohn's. I have an autoimmune disorder. My brothers do as well. My son has Lyme's disease and recovering from that, and have some heart issues. And we have all found Beachbody products to help us overcome those things. So I just want to keep sharing it, and it has become profitable to the point that now I'm like, okay, maybe I can stay home from my corporate job and be a stay-at-home mom again. And that's what I would love to do. So I'm going to turn it over to Cindy.
Hey everybody, I hope I'm not like in national Wild Kingdom here. I'm out on my porch. It's the only place I could escape my kids watching American Idol in the house. So, the trees are blowing, but luckily I'm in Beaufort, South Carolina. So the weather's pretty nicer tonight, a little bit breezy. But it's really great the way we all have different stories of how we came to Beachbody. And the four of us right here, I mean, each one is totally different, but it's kind of the same at the same time. So I had put on weight kind of gradually over time. I've got 2 kids. Now I've had a full-time job, and, it kind of sneaks up on us, which is the way it happens. And we kind of all, I think, have felt that maybe once or twice in our life, and had gotten frustrated with the way that I looked, because what I saw in mirrors, or, how you pass the storefront window and you're not going to look at yourself, but you're going to look, and you're going to catch a glimpse of yourself walking by that store. And I would see that reflection, and I was like, well, who is that? Because that's not what I feel like, and that's not what I should look like, because historically in my life, I've always been a person that's very active and very fit. So I got frustrated with that, and I went to Zumba. I am not a Zumba instructor, although I think that would be very fun. So I went to Zumba and met Gigi, was immediately drawn in by her personality, and she just kind of came up to me one night, and we got to talking, and I had seen the 21 Day Fix on TV, and many years ago, in fact, before I got married, which is 20 plus years now, I had done Weight Watchers. And back in that day, it was the program where you would eat every food group every day. It was none of this stuff of, oh, you can have as many points as you want. Eat a donut. It's okay. No, it was you eat bread, fruit, protein, you know, whatever, every day, every food group. And to me, that just makes a lot of sense. Well, 21 Day Fix is very similar to that. And yes, you can have a treat every now and then, but it just makes sense. It's just great nutrition. And when she mentioned that to me, I thought, wow, I've seen that on TV before. I might want to give it a go. So she and I messaged back and forth a few times. I started the 21 Day Fix and, you know, worked out every day, 7 days a week for that 3 weeks, had some pretty good results. Started really feeling great, saw a major difference in my clothes, and I thought, okay, you know, this stuff really works. It's not just a gimmick. And the great thing about Beachbody is as a coach, you're given the tools to help other people with. And I know we're going to talk about some of that later. So at the end of that month, I was talking to Gigi, and she's like, you know, you might as well go ahead and convert over to a coach at least to get the discount, which is kind of where I am at the moment. I'm kind of hovering between that discount coach, hobby coach kind of level. So anyway, I jumped into it. That was August of last year. So I'm still doing the programs. I've tried a couple of different ones now and still drinking Shakeology, and just think it's a pretty cool thing.
Yay. Thank you, Cindy. You're awesome. I appreciate it. Kelly, do you want to say something?
Okay, mine's pretty short and sweet because I don't have a whole lot going on. Just as a coach, I joined mainly for the discount, and then more talking. I said, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna see where this takes me. So as I said, I'm still in the beginning, but excited to get back here. And I've had issues with my weight's gone up and down. Oftentimes turn to food as comfort, and I've generally always been a healthy eater, though, except for ice cream is my weakness. But I've steered away from that.
Yay. I'm proud. Yay. Awesome. Well, Kelly is one of my newer coaches, and Salima as well. If you want to say something, Salima, you're welcome to. Doesn't have to be long. Be short and sweet.
Well, my why story is basically one word, Shakeology, because I wanted to get the discount. So that's why I'm here, and I'm still in that information gathering stage, kind of sitting on the fence, but I love the product, and I love what it's been doing for me and helping me to overcome my bad eating habits. My husband said I was boring now. He doesn't like to go out with me because I never want to eat junk food anymore. He keeps bringing home brownies, and I'm like, no, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that. So, you know, it's really helped me to control what I eat, and I've seen a lot of good positive results in terms of my body fat, my body composition. So I'm happy. I'm sticking with it, and, you know, we'll see where the career takes me. If I, you know, want to push forward or what. But I may do like the other lady was saying and pay it forward. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. But Shakeology was the thing that hooked me. So
that's awesome. Well, I think so many of us do get into this because we want the shakes and we want the discount, and we can't help it. It's what happens. And Salima is also a fellow Zumba instructor.
woo-hoo.
Love it. Love it. She's fabulous. Okay, guys. Now, an important topic that everybody always wants to hear is some of the misconceptions about coaching, because there are a lot, and I think we all probably think it going into this business, and I'm going to try to name some that everybody probably is thinking. And we're going to get rid of those misconceptions. So the big one is that you have to be a salesperson to be in this business. And that is so not the case, because I couldn't sell a darn thing ever in a million years. I would be the worst salesperson on the planet if that were the case. And it is so not about selling anything to anybody. And I'm actually going to hand it over to Holly, who's going to talk a little bit more about that topic. Take it away.
All right. So I thought of 1,000 whys while everybody else was giving their whys. But one big one that I wanted to say was this group right here. I mean, I've met so many people across the country and made so many new friends. And Gigi is my success partner. And it's just a fun journey together. So friendship is definitely a big why for me. Sharing versus selling, though. I'll stick to the topic. We, as coaches, we want to share what, just like we did with our whys, what these products are doing for us and why we started and how we feel. And you will never see on our Facebook pages, if you go there, you will not see us pushing products. That's not something we do. People a lot of times say, well, I'm not a salesperson. I can't do that job. I can't be a coach. I'm not going to sell 21-day fix and this and that. That's not the case. You don't have to put your sales cap on. You just have to share about the products, and people want to know more. And when people come to you about it, you don't immediately say, here it is, here's how much it is, and shove it in their face. It's an interview process, basically, that we start with our clients, and we get to know them, and we get to know their whys and why they're wanting to do a program, and then we want to find out what program is going to work for them, because we want all of our clients to have success. So it's really, it's an interview process that we go through with our clients, and we try to meet their needs, and we want to reassure them that we're going to coach them through the process and that we're their free coach. That's a huge benefit, is that we can be their, I always say I'm your free gift with purchase, because it's, we're their free gift, and we get to be with them all throughout, and we're always there for them to answer questions. So we just want to, as coaches, be sure that we're showing them we're a coach more than we're saying we're a coach, and that's something that we strive to do through social media. By the time we get to the point that we're going to recommend a product to someone, we want to be sure that we know everything there is to know about why they're doing it and what program we're recommending for them. Our close, when we close with them, should be shorter than our conversation with them. And so I just want to assure you that this is not a salesy job. You will never feel salesy being a coach. You are a fit coach, a person lending advice, lending help, lending a helping hand, really. So no selling in Beachbody coaching. I'll toss it back to you, Gigi.
No selling. She hit the nail on the head. Thanks, Holly. It's really about forming relationships with people, is what it really is. And you may not ever sell a darn thing to anybody. You may just be coaching them through a rough time. You may even be giving them just free fitness advice, free nutrition advice. So it's just about forming relationships with people and helping them get on the right track more than anything. Okay, my second misconception is that you have to have a lot of free time to do this business. And I can tell you that's definitely not the case, because none of us have a darn bit of free time. We do not lounge on the sofa with all this free time. And all the top coaches out there that are making $1 million, I can tell you that they started out having zero free time with a lot of kids and probably several jobs, and still were able to make it big in this business. So I'm going to hand it over to Jennifer, who's now going to talk about that. Take it away.
All right, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me to help you understand why I know that time is a difficult subject for people. I work in corporate America. I work over full time. Just to give you an example, last week I was at the office until 7 or 8 o'clock a couple different nights of the week. This week already, again, over 40 hours. So I work constantly. I do have to bring my laptop home at night. I have 2 wonderful children. I have a dog, a cat, all that other fun stuff. And I They are obsessed in sports, so I'm driving them all over town. And then to top it all off, it's kind of like I'm a single mom, except for my husband. I do have a husband, and he works out of town, so he's never home. So it's really me trying to raise these two kids and run them around everywhere. So I get not having time. I recognize that, and I think that was my first thing, is I only cared about Shakeology and the programs. And then when I finally decided to switch over and say, I'm going to pay it forward, I found an extra hour of time every day. So in my hour, just to give you an example, if you can find 1 hour a day, and I will say there's some days that I can't maybe give it an entire hour, but I make up for those few minutes on maybe a Saturday evening or a Saturday morning. I have a checklist, basically workout and drink my Shakeology. So if you can do those two things, there's your first 30 minutes of maybe your power hour. And these are just my non-negotiables for my business. Obviously, the bigger you want to go in the business, the more time you can dedicate. But when you're starting out and you just want to grab on and go, an hour, if you can give it an hour. So work out and drink your Shakeology. There's your two things. Read or listen to about 10 minutes of personal development a day. I have a 20-minute drive to work, a 20-minute drive home, and like I said, I'm driving kids all over. So I'll tell you, I do a lot of training in my car that's audio. I'll tune in on my phone and let it go from there. Checking in on your challenge groups. That should only take, 5 to 10 minutes a day, if at most. And then, checking in on my team page. I will check in on my team page as well as to my upline's team pages and see what's going on out there. Sometimes there's nothing to check in on. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Sometimes it's 1 minute. Check the back office and your online office, things we can talk about there. Again, only a few minutes. And then you respond to some messages and emails and reach out to a couple people a day. Some of these people that I'm reaching out to, they say, hey, what's that in your cup, or what is Shakeology? That is working the business. So I drink it every day. This is why I drink it. I could use some energy. Well, hey, let's talk about it later. Grab their information. That's working the business. So if you can find 1 hour a day to dedicate to you, your family, and your future, you can run this business. You can make time. I'll switch back to you, Gigi.
Thanks, Jen. That was awesome. See, you can fit it in. I'm going to tell you guys, just because we're running out of time, two quick ones that I know people think that it's a pyramid scheme, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now that it's definitely not, because pyramid schemes are illegal. And there's no way you would be seeing infomercials with these great products all over television if this was an illegal company. So I can tell you that now. The other one is that it's a get-rich-quick scheme. And the thing about this business is, yes, you can make a fortune, but you're not going to do it overnight. It definitely takes time to build your business, but you can make some really good money with it if you put in. Basically, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So that was one of my other misconceptions, that you can get rich quick with it. And my last one is that you need to have, a misconception is that you need to have a big following or a big fitness following, or you need to be some hot fitness person. And definitely not the case, because as you can see, all coaches come in all shapes and sizes, men and women, everything. So I'm actually going to hand it over to Cindy to discuss this topic for last few minutes.
Well, in my mind, I'm a hot fitness instructor. No, I'm kidding. Right? Thumbs up. One step at a time, baby. Anyway, yeah, no, you don't have to be a fitness instructor to be a coach by any means. I, too, work in corporate America, kind of like Jennifer does. I've been in commercial banking for 14 years. I have a husband, 2 kids, plenty of cats. The neighbor's cat lives at my house, all kind of extra stuff to take care of. My parents are just down the road with a whole farm, literally a whole farm. So there's lots of things for us to do all the time. But the great thing about Beachbody is it gives you the products and the programs that you need. You do not have to have that degree in fitness or nutrition. All you have to do is want to be there to help other people. And I promise you, that's that's what differentiates this program from something like Weight Watchers. Yes, it might be a similar food program, but you're not going to get the support with those programs. You're not going to get it with Isogenics, with Weight Watchers. I've never done Craig or any of that, but I promise you the coaching is what makes the difference. And I started that Beachbody program in August of last year. If it wasn't for checking in on that challenge group, I promise you that when it was 5:30 in the morning on the top of my garage and about 110 degrees, I would have chosen to not work out that day. But knowing that I was going to have to check into that challenge group and that people were expecting things of me and I wanted to see how everyone else was doing, it kind of keeps you going. So coaching really makes a big difference in this business. And I'm going to be brief, Gigi. I know we're probably running out of time, but there's 3 different types of coaches that you can choose to be. The first of which is called a discount coach. We've already heard a little bit about that. You're kind of in it for the discount and maybe have a little bit of interest in learning in the next parts of the business. The second is kind of a hobby coach. That's kind of where I'm teetering at the moment. You're still enjoying the discount. You're still being a product of the product. You're still working out, drinking your Shakeology. I see everyone drinking out of their Shakeology shaker cups now. Those are the best water cups ever. And I've got 2 or 3 of them at this point. So I literally have one in every cup holder in my car. And I can just switch them out as the day goes without having to refill, or leave them all on my desk without having to refill. So that's the hobby coach, or maybe you help a few people along the way. That's kind of what I've done. I've got a few friends that have joined in and partaked in the business. And then you can be a full-time coach, which is something more like what Gigi or Holly is kind of doing at this point, and maybe what Jennifer's moving towards. And that's someone who has a little bit more time to commit to the business. Maybe run, challenge groups on a regular basis, which is what we should be doing anyway. So you kind of can pick where you want to be and really take advantage of Beachbody and their Beachbody on Demand, the streaming programs you can have. All of the nutrition is there. The programs have been built to help someone be successful. All you have to do is be there to support them, uplift them when things may be rough for them. And I promise you they will get to where they want to be, and both of you will be rewarded for that.
Thank you, Cindy. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
So we really only have time to close this out. And Holly, you've only got a whopping not even 3 minutes. And they will kick us off, everyone. Just as a warning, they will kick you off as soon as this time is done. So I'm shutting up now.
Okay, I can quickly wrap this up. So I think it's so important to know it's free to be a coach. And to find out how to sign up, we're going to recommend, in case we get cut off, that you go to the person that invited you here, and they will help you through that process. But it's also important to know that there is no risk. There is no contract. So why not? Why wouldn't you want to be a coach? This is a win-win job. I mean, and I hate to call it a job because it's so fun. I don't know how this could be a job. So you want to contact your coach for details. You have the opportunity to be the CEO of your own business. This is your chance. If you want to run something that is yours, run it your way, use your creativity, use your skills that you have. I can't imagine anything better. I was thinking about that today, about how I used to do, I was the communications director for a company, and I used to do graphic design, and I used to do newsletters, and I used to do all these things that now I can implement into this business. And so it's been really nice to just utilize my skills and utilize them in a different way, and in an industry that, an area that I really enjoy, which is fitness and dance. So if you would all have an interest in lending a helping hand to others and just doing something that you can call your own, I would highly recommend reaching out to the person that invited you here. We would love to have you join us. So if you have questions, we're going to hop back over into Gigi's Coach Open House page, and we'll be there for a little while. If anybody wants to hop in there, ask some questions, we'll respond there. We have 1 minute if anybody wants to jump on. Otherwise, we're all going to say goodbye, farewell, I think.
All right. Good night.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Bye. You're awesome.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Night.
Great.